Hello, 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 and welcome to part 2 of answering the word problem. What was the hourly rental fee? So like I mentioned in part 1, we're going to organize the facts. That's what we're going to do here is organize the facts. So a lot of times when you are working with word problems, it helps to organize the facts. It helps to draw pictures, label the pictures. I mean, if you have the time during the exam to do this, it may just help you to eliminate one or two of those A, B, C, D, or E options. They have the HiSET, they have the E option, and GED only has A, B, C, D. Okay, and remember, there's no penalties for guessing, right? And again, the strategy is to go through the entire exam, do only the problems that you know you can answer, then come back and work on some of the problems, maybe medium level problems you think you can answer, and finally, in the last few minutes, go back and guess those answers that you may not know how to answer, and that will increase your odds of passing this exam. All right, so let's organize the facts. So rental time was between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Now you can write that from 8 to 4:30 is 8.5 hours. So you can write that 8.5 or 8.5 hours. Now, as I mentioned in the part 1 video, we're not really dealing with fractions in the answer. We're dealing with decimals. So I would want to use the 8.5 time frame, or 8.5 hours, right? Now you could use fractions. It's just going to make this problem a little more difficult because you'd have to convert the 4 cents into a fraction, and it just makes it complicated. So 8.5 is 8.5 hours. 8 to 4:30 is 8.5 hours. So I'm going to make sure I'm organizing, writing all this stuff down. So the question was the fee per hour, right? We don't know. That's the question. We don't know, or X, right? A lot of times variables X, Y, Z are used to represent real numbers. We just don't know what they are yet. So we don't know what the fee per hour was. That's an X or a question mark, or however you like to label it, is perfectly legit, right? Because this is your question. This is your problem. Let's get in some of the other facts that we have. The total rental cost, right? We were given the total cost of $53.04, right? See, we have that decimal I mentioned before. We have a decimal in the time. 8.5 is 8.5 hours. So we're working with decimals here. You know, you want to think to yourself, how could I use per hour, or 8.5 total hours, and the total rental cost in order to determine the hourly wage, right? So we call this kind of like a unit rate type of problem. Anytime you have a unit rate problem, there's many different ways to set it up, but ultimately you're using division. You're going to take $53.04. That's your numerator. That's the top part of the fraction. You're going to put 8.5 in the denominator. That's the bottom part of your fraction, right? And you're going to divide you're going to divide bottom into top, because every fraction is a division problem. All right, so let's continue on in organizing our values. And you're going to see that here, right? You're going to put the total cost over your rental time, right? Total cost, $53.04. Rental time was 8.5 hours. So 53.04 over 8.5. That's the total rental time, 8.5 hours. That's going to give you, once you simplify and divide, right? Every fraction's a division problem. Top divided by the bottom. That's going to give you your fee per hour. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. And let me show you how you set that up. And there's two ways. There's multiple ways. I'm showing you two of showing the division $53.04 divided by 8.5 or $53.04 divided by 8.5, or I take it back, I'm showing you 3 different ways to show the division problem, and particularly I'm going to use the third option. Why? You're not allowed a calculator. If this was a type of problem that you had while you were using a calculator, you could use this option here to punch into the calculator to get you a quick value of the fee per hour, right? Or you could punch in this value here, divided by this value here to give you fee per hour. But since we have to use our own scratch paper and pencil, no calculator allowed, I'm going to use this form. And I'm going to show you in the next part 3 video, how to divide with decimals. How to divide with decimals, okay? So that's going to be part 3 video. Stick with me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your efforts. Don't quit. Don't give up. You can do this. Absolutely. It takes time and energy, but you can get her done. Thanks for joining me.